Following are descriptions of the conditions under which the different classes of hazardous locations exist. Examples follow each description. Descriptions can also be found in the National Electric Code, NEC, Article 500.5. Class 1, Division 1. Locations where ignitable concentrations of flammable gases and vapors exist in the atmosphere under normal operating conditions. Releases of gases or vapors will exist frequently because of repair or maintenance operations or leakage. Gases or vapors also will be released into the air when processing equipment breaks down. These locations require explosion-proof electrical equipment and components. Examples are locations where volatile flammable liquids or liquefied flammable gases are transferred from one container to another. Interiors of spray booths and areas in the vicinity of spraying and painting operations where flammable solvents are used. Drying rooms or compartments used for the evaporation of flammable solvents. Where open vats or tanks of flammable liquids are needed. Where equipment that uses flammable solvents is operated. Where ignitable concentrations of flammable vapors or gases are likely to occur during normal operations. Class 1, Division 2. Locations where volatile or easily vaporized flammable liquids and gases are handled and processed, but are confined in enclosed containers or systems. A hazardous liquid or gas would only escape into the air because of accidental rupture of the container or breakdown of the system. This class location is also an area in which hazardous concentrations of gases or vapors are normally prevented by positive mechanical ventilation, but that might become dangerous through the failure or abnormal operation of the ventilating equipment. A Class 1 Division 2 location can also be an area next to a Class 1 Division 1 area that isn't equipped with positive pressure ventilation. Examples are locations where flammable liquids, gases, or vapors are used, but would become a hazard only in the case of an accident or other unusual operating condition. Class 2 Division 1. Locations where combustible dusts are suspended in the air in quantities that produce explosive or ignitable mixtures under normal operating conditions. Where explosive or ignitable dust mixtures are produced because of failure or abnormal operation of process machinery or equipment. Where such failure of machinery or equipment would also provide a source of ignition through the simultaneous failure of electrical equipment. This class also includes areas where electrically conductive combustible dusts may be present. Examples are grain handling and processing plants, starch plants, sugar pulverizing plants, malting and hay grinding plants, areas where metal dusts and powders are produced or processed, and areas that contain unventilated dust-producing equipment. Dusts containing magnesium and aluminum are particularly hazardous, and the use of extreme caution is necessary to avoid ignition and explosion. Class 2 Division 2. Locations where sufficient quantities of combustible dusts aren't present in the air under normal operating conditions. Dust accumulations usually don't interfere with the normal operation of electrical equipment. Combustible dusts may be in suspension in the air due to infrequent malfunctioning of process equipment. The resulting dust accumulations on electrical equipment may be ignitable in case of an electrical equipment failure. Examples of this class and division are areas where dust accumulations might form on or near electrical equipment, and where substantial amounts of dust would escape from equipment under abnormal operating conditions. This class location can be next to a Class 2 Division 1 location. Class 3 Division 1. Locations where easily ignitable fibers or materials that produce combustible flyings are used, handled, or manufactured. Examples are rayon, cotton, and other textile mills, combustible fiber manufacturing and processing plants, cotton gin and cottonseed mills, flax processing plants, clothing manufacturing plants, and woodworking plants and establishments involving similar hazardous processes or conditions. Class 3, Division 2. Locations where easily ignitable fibers are stored and handled. To determine the classification and extent of any hazardous location, you must take several factors into account: the quantity and type of flammable material that might escape in case of an accident, the adequacy of ventilating equipment, and the total area involved. Also, it's important to have the record of your particular business or industry examined with respect to explosions and fires during the use or handling of flammable materials. You must thoroughly consider all these factors before setting any hazardous location parameters.